I'm so glad you're here. Let's start.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Julie Halston. It's Virtual Halston, Season 2, Episode 21. And this is our last show for Season 2. I'm going on a little hiatus. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to do a job. I am going to do Terrence McNally's play, It's Only a Play. And I'm very excited about doing it. It's going to be filmed at the George Street Playhouse in New Jersey. And I will be with a wonderful cast and a wonderful director, Kevin Cahoon. Many of you might know him as an actor, but he's also a director. And Andy Grotelushin, my wonderful castmate from Tootsie, and Ann Harada, my friend Ann. It's just going to be fantastic. So anyway, we're going to do a little hiatus, and then Season 3 will come back. So I will keep you apprised. Stay on the social media to keep apprised. And, this has been a very kind of an emotional day for me, because I know that I won't see you for a while when, we've been doing these things through the global pandemic. And, if you're going to go through a pandemic, you really want to go through it with someone who's going to keep you positive, keep you going. And let's face it, who would that person be? Well, my producer, my friend, my partner in crime, Jim Caruso. Come on in.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Oh,
I know. I've been emotional all day. I really have. Oh, stop. Oh, my God. We're going to do our favorite moments show today.
Are you okay?
Well, you know what? I am a little verklempt, I have to say. By the way,
this has gotten us through, a very weird time.
It really has. And it was all because of you. And you were the one who said, let's do this. And I said no. And you said yes. And that was that.
Yeah, and here we are.
And here we are. I, by the way, am wearing this beautiful, gorgeous William Ivy Long jacket in honor of Prince Philip, who passed away at the age of 99.
I know. And I'm wearing something. I'm wearing something royal, kind of a cutaway collar like he wore. And I thought of that too when I got dressed.
Yeah.
I feel bad about that. Although he was 99. What a life.
It's not a tragedy.
No, it's not a surprise.
Not a surprise, not a tragedy. But yeah.
I mean, that's also an amazing love story.
Amazing.
I mean, have they been together since she was a teenager?
Yeah. And as they've talked about, as we now know from The Crown and many other things, she was basically determined to marry that man.
I know.
I love
if you're a queen, I guess,
I
That's
know
what
a lot
I hear.
of people that don't get what they want. Did I just say that?
Well,
did I just say that?
Julie, as you know, they're big fans of the show.
Oh, well, actually, I think they wrote us a letter, but before, did they write us a letter?
Yeah, they did. Should we bring Ruby out? Do you want to bring Ruby for this? Because she's, she's a part of this. Yeah.
She's a big part
She's
of
a
it.
big part of this. We would be nothing without Ruby, literally.
It's true. Well, let's call her in.
Okay. Oh, Ruby.
Oh, Jim. Oh, Julie.
Oh, look,
darling, how are you?
Ruby. It's us.
It's
his eye.
Yes. We were talking about our sort of semi-friend, Prince Philip.
I know. Well, we don't know him well, obviously.
We don't know him well, but he knew us. He wrote us because we did ask people. I actually gave my email address to Buckingham Palace, and he did write back. And Jim?
Well, sure. I have it right here. We were so honored to get a fan letter from that wonderful gentleman. And we were surprised. Can we say we were surprised? So it came to Julie's email address. So this is it. Dear Judy, Liz and I have enjoyed the hell out of you in virtual Halston. We figured out how to air the show on the big screen in the throne room, and trust me, we weren't the only royals laughing. The ladies in waiting absolutely loved your wacky sense of humor, and it seems quite a few of the butlers were familiar with your work. We especially loved the Ann Harada show when she showed a picture from when she was standing in for Liza at the palace. What a hoot. Please know how much you, Jim, and Reba have entertained us during these uncertain times. Thanks for the mugs. We love them. Sending love and light, the Prince.
Okay. I'm a mess. I'm a mess.
Do you need to powder?
That just killed me. I'm so moved.
It is moving.
Hello
Oh,
from London.
and Belinda is in London.
Queens at the Palace love you. Oh, and you know what? Belinda, and Libby, Belinda Wright, Laura Scott, Libby. I mean, I'll be thanking them a little later, but oh my God, thank you so much. And Reba, how are you, Reba? How you doing, Reba?
Reba's okay.
Yeah.
Ruby, on the other hand,
Right.
so touched by that letter.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Good.
You know,
Well,
I watch all of those. Can I just say, I do watch all of those movies and documentaries, and there's a lot of them. I can't get enough of them. I can't get enough of Kennedy documentaries. I feel like a sponge because those people are fascinating, and I think they live obviously fascinating but very weird,
Very weird,
like abnormal lives. They'll never know what it's like to go to the grocery store. I need to go to Dwayne Reed, or so many normal things that they don't know. But do they need to know that?
dry cleaning.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm totally obsessed, and it's so funny you bring this up. That is such a big deal. It's true. I literally was on a Kennedy Instagram site this morning.
I'm on it.
Morning.
Yeah. The photos of them sailing in horizontal striped t-shirts, and it's so art directed. It's so Ralph Lauren. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
I mean, it's
crazy.
They're untouchable. They're otherworldly. Are they even real? I don't know, but they're fascinating. And I mean, obviously we were kidding shockingly about the letter, but I do feel bad. I feel like that's an end of a major era, and I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, no, it's very difficult, and it's sort of it is an end of an era on a lot of levels.
Literally,
it really is.
Yeah.
But as we go forward, one of the things that we've all talked about, Ruby and Jim, is we have been doing this show for almost a year. I know you just celebrated a 1-year anniversary, but almost a year. Mm-hmm. We have had 41 guests on this show, and they've all been amazing. And again, everyone, why did we do this? And why do we do this? Well, we hope, because there we go. We hope we are entertaining you. We want to continue to entertain you in the future. You have been so great to us. We hope that you've enjoyed these shows. And of course, a portion goes to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. And again, thank you. I, in fact, will be sending the PFF another check this week. So thank you again. That's why we do this. And Jim, it was you that suggested that. And I want to thank you so much. And the PFF thanks you. And I also want to do a shout out. I just got an email from Chris and Michael in Riverside, California. And they were talking to me about favorite moments. And one of their favorite moments was when I would say, global pandemic. So I just wanted to, So I just wanted to reiterate that for them. And one of the other things that we realized when we got emails from people asking about favorite moments was the very recent Paul Rudnick, Peter Bartlett show was one of the absolute favorites. So many people mentioned it, and they mentioned their favorite moment of that was when Paul Rudnick described when I auditioned for him and the producers of I Hate Hamlet. Do we have that clip, Ruby?
Yes, we do. Here we go.
All right.
Julie, I was going to mention this. One of the first times I ever met Julie or saw Julie, I'd always adored her on stage. Julie, I don't know if you remember, you auditioned for me once for I Hate Hamlet. And you came in and you were...
I do remember. It was for the real estate lady, right?
Yeah. And Julie did the best thing I have ever seen at the end of her audition. You walked all the way across a very large audition room. And then at the moment when you put your hand on the doorknob and then you turned to the room and you said, Julie Halston, comedy. And you laughed. And you just, everybody is laughing. I thought, I've never seen anyone leave.
I know. What in God's name was I thinking? I wasn't thinking.
Well, he remembered.
I was going to say I should be taking notes because, they always tell you, make an impression when you enter and when you leave. And I feel like I need to come up with my own, like, Ruby Lochner, visually impaired, and then just walk out or something.
They'll remember that.
Yeah,
they will remember that.
I like
it. Paul is so funny, and he's so witty. And we brought up the fact that, of course, he is the master of Twitter. And Jim, I think you were the one who said, "Oh, can we see that Twitter posting about Megyn Kelly?"
I think it was from the day before.
Yes.
Look, okay, Megyn Kelly's outfit. Look what she's wearing, first of all, with the keyhole in the chest. Is it backwards? What's happening?
Well, was inspired by a guitar pick.
My favorite is perfect for open heart surgery on the go.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It really, he is just,
if you guys aren't following Paul Rudnick, you're crazy. Because it is constant humor, and each just like 10 jokes in one tweet. I don't know how he does it.
And he's really known for his tweets about Ivanka Trump.
Oh, yeah.
They've just been inspired. And, it's kind of helped us get through this, as you've said, this difficult time. I would always go quickly to his Twitter account and see
absolutely.
What he said. Yeah.
And he has one Trump that he calls the dumbest Trump. I'll let you figure it out, but it's always funny. And I think I'm not a Trump fan. However, I think I would still think it was funny if the shoe was on the other foot. I just think he's such a great writer. And
I don't think they do, though, Jim.
I don't care about them. But I'm just thinking, I think if the shoe were on the other foot, I would still think they were funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
because he's witty and he's as good as it gets.
He really is. He really is. Plus, now that I've worked with Paul and I know Paul, he's really a stand-up guy. He's a dear friend. He's a loyal, good guy. There you go. Libby Whittemore, one of our dearest, started following him after this episode. No, he's really brilliant. And, as we were talking about putting together this show today, one of the things we talked about was articles that people would send us, things that we saw on Twitter. And one of the things we saw on Twitter was the McCall's article. Yes, there we go.
How could you forget?
First of all, that cover is fantastic.
Isn't it?
Let's look at that. Those fabulous spring colors.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a spring magazine. I assume it is, but.
Yes, and it's so artful. It's beautiful. The placement of everything is great.
Look at the articles. Are sex manuals a threat to happy marriage?
Oh, isn't that great? The 3 women of courage.
Wonder who they were.
And then on the bottom, you see 129 ways to get a husband.
Ooh.
And so many people wrote in to me after this. Ruby, let's bring up some of them because they were just hilarious.
I have many, so take notes, people. I'll be taking notes.
Oh, get a pencil, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't be afraid to associate with more attractive girls. They may have some leftovers. Leftovers.
Because that's what you want.
That's what you want. Sit next to a man. Okay. Don't sit next to a woman. Now, don't room with a girl who's a sad sack. A sad sack. Now, first of all, has anyone used that term in the long period? Sad sack.
Here's some more.
Oh, wait. Learn to paint. Set up an easel outside engineering school.
Oh, wait. Stumble when you walk into a room that he's in. What? Because carry a hat box.
Make a lot of money. I'm trying.
I mean, that's actually a good.
No, wait. The best one is number 40.
Stand in a corner and cry softly.
Chances are that he'll come over to find out what's wrong. Yeah, and never call you again because you're a sad sack.
And call a state hospital.
I love it. That was just, those were some
Keep
of
sending them in, folks. Send those crazy things in.
I do remember another one that said, wear a Band-Aid.
Yes, it's in two parts. It's at the bottom of this picture. Wear a Band-Aid.
Wear a Band-Aid, yeah.
People always ask what happened.
Oh my God. No, they don't. I've seen people wear Band-Aids and I've never asked them.
No, you don't want to hear the answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a mole removed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm trying to eat. Thanks.
Is it pussy? Like nobody,
Right.
that's not a way to.
Does this look infected?
Yeah. This is a good episode.
No, that was really so fantastic. Well, I just want to do a little shout out, because I did get many responses sent to my email, and William Cronauer loved the Jessica Keenan Nguyen story about her gushing over Cher. And Jim, you know this Cher story.
Yes, I love this story.
Can you tell that story?
Oh, William, good choice. Jessica Keenan Nguyen is a gorgeous, talented, funny, smart actress who has done a lot of Broadway shows, and she was also in Mamma Mia 2, the movie, and also starring Cher. So it turns out that Jessica's uncle, I think I'm telling this right, happened to be Cher's attorney, who kind of took care of the contract for this movie. And when Cher arrived to the set, Jessica, who was one of the leads, was taken over to her to be introduced. And first Jessica was like, oh God, no, I'm okay. She's not going to know me, Okay. So she went over, of course, thrilled to meet Cher. And she goes over, and instead of saying, hello, I'm one of the leads, and it's wonderful to meet you, I've enjoyed your work, or whatever, she falls all over herself and says, Cher, my uncle took care of your contract. And Cher didn't even look up and said, okay. She totally blew her one moment with Cher with like the dullest possible comment.
Well, it's so inappropriate. Like, don't talk about business like your contract.
I know.
It's crazy, but it was so funny. It's so great. And by the way,
they got to be friends after that, and they laughed about it afterwards. And Jessica was like, I don't know what I was thinking. Cher was like, I don't know either. That was truly dull. I love it.
I remember, Jim, when you went to the opening, I guess, of the Cher show with Stephanie J. Block, right?
Yeah.
And Cher was there, and you were beside yourself. And I remember speaking to you the next day, and I said, "How are you, Jim?" And you said, "I'm still in a gay haze."
A gay haze.
I love that expression. I've used it many times. I always attribute it to you.
That whole show was a gay haze. I loved it so
Truly.
much.
I saw it 3 times.
I saw it more. I saw it open in Chicago. I saw it opening night here, and I saw once in the middle and once at the end. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it immensely.
Julie, did you ever have a celebrity who you spoke to and you just couldn't find the words, or you just started spewing nonsense?
Not really. I will tell you, I was nervous about interviewing Nathan Lane. In
But
fact,
you know him. You're really good
we're
friends.
buddies, but you know, Nathan is Nathan Lane, and Ellen Dweck actually loved the Nathan Lane episode so much. You know, Nathan is just so famous and so brilliant, and you know, you just don't want to. You want to create a favorable impression, even when you know that they're friends of yours or whatever. And I was also kind of nervous about interviewing Bill Irwin, because as many people know, I had a mad crush on Bill Irwin and basically stalked a clown. You know, I did. I sort of stalked him at one time.
That's your autobiography.
I stalked
Stalking a clown.
But and he turned out, of course, like all our interviewees, just to be the most wonderful, fantastic guy. In fact, Sunday is his birthday, so happy birthday, Bill, in advance.
I think we should send a mug.
Yeah, send a mug, a darling mug. Yes. Oh
All
my
the
God.
best royals have it.
That's right. That's right. And by the way, Sal Canepa, I think is how you say his name. His favorite story was when I told the Marge Stein story. I don't even remember what episode that was, but that was when I was doing Gypsy on Broadway with Bernadette Peters. That's a name to drop. And Harvey Firestein, another name to drop, suggested that I get a kitten. And Marge Stein worked for the North Shore Animal League. And I'll never forget, she called me up and she said, Julie Halston. She never called me Julie. Julie Halston, you know, total name. And I said, yes. She said, I understand from Harvey Firestein that you're in the market for a kitten. In the market for a kitten. And I said, yes, I am. And she said, well, first of all, I just want you to know I am a devotee of the Broadway theater. And I love Stephen Sondheim. And I just want to say this to you, Julie Halston. You're electrifying and you're not even trying. And she, throughout this entire thing, did the score from Gypsy. And I was trying to get my husband's attention to pick up the receiver on the other end. But anyway, we did get that kitten. And of course, we had to name it Gypsy. So there you go.
Or
so
Marge Stein.
Marge Stein understood that I was in the market for a kitten. By the way, if you're enjoying, please feel free to tip us. There it is, PayPal and Venmo. I hope you're enjoying. Ruby, you and I have talked about certain pictures that made us giggle so much throughout the year. And one of the ones that made me giggle and frightened me a little was Jimbo the clown, talking about clowns. Oh.
I mean, it's, and I mean this with my whole heart. It is the gift that keeps on giving. I really do want to say one of the best parts about, oh, good, he's Okay, he's turning into Jimbo. One of the best parts of this year, honestly, has been learning more about Jim and getting to see all of the pictures that he has. Because I mean, we've talked about this before, but I mean, Jim, you've known me since I was 6 years old. I feel like we know each other pretty well. You and my mom are good friends. We see you all the time, and yet, if it wouldn't have been for this pandemic, I would have never known about Jimbo. And now, how could I ever forget?
That is a good-looking clown.
Oh, Jim, what did that woman say? You were a combo platter of...
Oh, no, she said you're up. This was in Pittsburgh. She said you're like a poo-poo platter of Joan Rivers and Bozo. I took that as a great compliment.
Oh, okay. That clown haunts me. Haunts my dreams. What
You're
can
welcome.
I say? Yes, you're welcome.
I wish there was a way that Jimbo could appear on season 3. Maybe that's asking too much.
No,
but
it's not.
I almost wish that Jimbo could make an appearance on season 3.
If only I knew people with wigs.
Yes. Yeah. And makeup.
Hey Jim, somebody's at your door. You're gonna hear a knock at your door.
Just shut up. That is not. Don't do it
Wouldn't
again.
that be great? Wouldn't that be great if somebody was right there with a makeup case?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, what Ruby's talking about is we had our 1-year anniversary for Pajama Cast Party a week and a half ago. And Ruby produced the whole thing. I knew nothing. I always book it and know everything that's happening. Ruby took care of this from the word go. Julie, you did the open. You were so funny. And at one point, Ruby said, Jim, there's somebody at your door. And I was like, huh? And my door knocked, which is really weird because nobody walks around my building. So I had to go to my door to see what it was. And it was ballet superstar turned Broadway leading man, Robbie Fairchild, with a bouquet of flowers. It was so weird. Oh, God, there it is.
Yay. And those flowers are known as the
Are
Caruso
dead.
bouquet.
Yes, they're now dead. Which is sad. Oh, that's so sad about flowers. They do die.
There's been a lot of death in this show already. I think we need to
I know. We won't mention it again.
I think we need to move past it. Jimbo the Clown was certainly one of those photos that, I mean, is forever. I've thought many a time about getting a tattoo just right here so that I can always look at Jimbo. But also, Julie, how could we ever forget?
Oh, Jim, can you tell that story?
It was just a Thursday. I was feeling pretty. I was living in Dallas, and the national tour of La Cage aux Folles was auditioning in some of the major cities. And my agent called and said, we need to send headshot, resume, and drag shot. I didn't have a drag shot. I had a clown shot. They didn't care. So I hired a friend of mine who was a wonderful performer, a drag performer, to do hair and makeup. And that was what I sent them.
Oh, my God.
I did not get a call back.
You did
Although
not
she's
get the
cute.
call.
Now, come on. She's kind of cute.
You know what? She looks a little like the wig, particularly like Rita Marshall in Tootsie.
Oh, my God.
She really does look like
really
me
true.
in Tootsie.
Oh, can you find a picture, Ruby, to put them side by?
Hang on. Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk. We'll talk
Let's
until
talk.
Just
Oh
keep
then. Oh
my
God,
God.
to do that side by side would be hilarious.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
because it looks like a young Rita
Oh,
Marshall.
my God. Oh, my God.
Oh my God, she's going to do it.
Totally unplanned, y'all.
This
This
really
is funny.
is totally
Okay,
unplanned.
I can't put it side to side. I have to like re-edit, and
Wait,
I
I think I can.
Okay.
I don't want the bit to become unfunny. So
Okay.
okay.
Just show it. Show me first.
Yes. So just so that we remember, this is Jim.
That's me.
Yeah. And then we have
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay.
Jim.
Why did we never notice that?
Oh my God.
How did we not know that?
Jim, we've been twins for decades now, and now it's really the operation is complete.
Is anybody watching this? Because that is hilarious.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Let us know if you're watching.
Impromptu. And Ruby, thank you. You're such a genius tech-wise that you pulled this together so quickly. That was totally impromptu.
Please, it was truly my pleasure.
Oh, well, first of all, Eva Heineman, by the way, loves, I wanted to thank her. She is a big fan, and she is part of a group called the Halstonians, and they loved when I did Joan Crawford. So thank you, Eva. But yes, which is the evil twin? Eva, both of them.
Yes,
both.
The answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes. Yeah. Now, Jim, you mentioned that one of your favorites was someone that you actually helped really a lot with because you knew his work more than me.
Oh my gosh.
B.B. Winans.
Yeah, having B.B. Winans on this show. I mean, I know you were a huge fan. I've been a huge fan of B.B. and CeCe Winans for decades. They have miraculous voices. Are you getting echo all of a
I'm
sudden?
trying to fix it right now. Notice my face of confusion. I'm on it.
I just don't want people to think that's how I talk. I am such a fan of their miraculous voices and their, oh my gosh. But BB was such a great guest and told a story out of the blue of his love of a certain diva. And when he started to talk about it, it was palpable how much he loved her. Ruby?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I'm a very calm, I get that's from my mother. I'm an even keel, calm person. But when I go to a Gladys Knight concert, and Gladys knows, I tell the people before the concert starts who is sitting next to me, I look at them, I say, let me apologize. I said, let me apologize because this is going to be terrible for you.
Okay, this is so fantastic.
Because the moment she comes out, everybody's clapping, but she'll say, you know what, I'm going to go down memory lane. I'm saying, go down memory lane, girl. Take your time. Neither one of us.
He was so fantastic. Such a crush, so brilliant. We got BB through our wonderful PR friend of Sam Rudy, and a shout out to Sam Rudy for everything that he did for Virtual Halston. But boy, what a legend. What a legend.
I love
say,
another legend.
Take your time.
Can I just say though that's what I've loved about this show and also Pajama Cast Party, but here more so because it's longer form interviews, is the fact that we have these huge names on and you're used to hearing their answers to certain questions and it's all very poised and professional, and then we get on this show where everybody's just allowed to have fun and it's campy and it's ridiculous, and we get an interview like that, and it is such gold. I remember when I was producing that show just laughing out loud and enjoying the hell out of it while I was still trying to do my job because it was just so special.
And I remember Julie being a little nervous because she thought, BB is a gospel singer. Is he gonna get it? Is he gonna play along? Boy, did he ever play along, and boy, did he get it. He really got it and seemed to have a blast. We love him so much.
Yeah, we love him. It's one of my favorites, absolute favorites. He's just fantastic. And he had so much fun. That's the thing. We have so much fun. And I do remember, I think Ruby I'm not sure if this was the episode, but there was also an episode around that time that we actually got the virtual cookie.
I think that was this episode actually. Yes. So I mean, how could we forget?
There.
That
Wow.
is a lot of you.
A lot of me. A lot of me. Oh.
Oh.
That's my favorite.
No, you can't beat it. Thank you, John Haber, who makes those cookies. Really, really. Oh, and speaking of cookies, this brings me.
Speaking of cookies, what is that a
What
is that a
That
thing?
crazy?
Cookies for everyone.
Yeah, it was that a crazy non.
Look under your chair.
Yeah.
You get a cookie. That's all.
You get a Julie.
You get a virtual Halston cookie. What that brings me to another one of my favorite episodes when my friend Andrew Reynolds, who I've known for quite a long time, and we did Hairspray together, when he did in fact talk about cookies. I think we have that clip as well, don't we, Ruby?
Yes, we do. And can I just say, this is honestly, when I was editing the sizzle reel for season 1, there were 2 clips in particular, actually both of which we're showing today, that I laughed out loud while rewatching, would have to wipe my eyes. I'd make my boyfriend watch it, and then I would edit the clip. But I had to get the giggles out. Otherwise, I couldn't even edit it because I would laugh so hard. So, of course, we're showing it.
There we
I
go.
did think of one thing. So Julie and the Hairspray cast and I would oftentimes find ourselves at this bar on 8th Avenue called Sosa Barella. It was right around the corner. Now it's closed, unfortunately. And there was a very sweet bartender, and I want to say his name was James.
Joey.
Joey, thank you. So Joey. So we would have a couple drinks at the Sosa Barella, and it was like sort of a small plates type place. And there was like banquettes, and we would sit there. And then when we were finished with our small plates and we were just about to be done, Julie would say, she would go, Joey, let's get a cookie plate.
It's true.
Let's get a cookie plate.
No, it really is true.
There was not a cookie plate on the menu, but then a cookie plate would arrive. I don't know where the hell they came from, but a cookie plate would arrive. And then we would have the cookie plate, and then we would go, let's have a cookie plate.
Oh, I just love it. I just love it. Yes, cookie platter. Oh, Libby, thank you so much. I'll tell you.
He's one of the greatest guests. He should be a professional talk show guest.
Well,
Is that
I think
a job?
He is.
Well, he is. He is on everything. But
Yeah.
he is such a great guest.
He has been on, all the shows, Stephen Colbert and James Corden and The Tonight Show. But, you say to yourself, well, why is he such a great guest? Well, first of all, look at him. Is that.
Yeah, but that's not it. I mean, that's it in life. That's it in real life. But that doesn't make, because think of all the great talk show guests of yore, like on Merv Griffin and Mike Douglas, that would, like Arthur Treacher, Hermione Gingold, people that just were funny and witty and smart and had great stories.
Absolutely.
And, raconteurs.
Yes. The thing that is so great about Andrew, besides the fact that he's, a tall drink of water, he knows how to tell a story. He gets in fast. He has that sort of brevity, is the soul of wit in a sense, He knows how to do it. He also knows how to take the temperature of a room. Do you know what I mean? He figures it out, and he's so naturally charming, and that is real. That is not phony baloney. He's just, he's a boy from Omaha, Nebraska. He's got that natural charm and politeness, but he also has a sort of insouciance and sauciness. Yeah, I love that I just said the word insouciance.
And sauciness.
And
it was
sauciness.
nice. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Insouciance and sauciness. The Andrew Reynolds story.
But he really does, and that's called smart. And you're absolutely right. And that's why they love having him on the shows.
That's
you know?
Always
and
a good
also-
story. And,
Yeah.
But you're right, too. And then he looks like, he looks better than anybody.
Yeah. So it's great all around.
Yeah.
Again, if you're enjoying, please feel free to tip us. Before we go to season 3, thank you so much, Ruby. I'd love to send another check to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation and also to pay for the platforms. And, just if you can, any donation, no donation is too small or too large. This has been almost a year. We started Virtual Halston in May of last year. So it's been almost a year. And people have been so generous and so
You've
wonderful.
been able to send thousands of dollars to PFF.
Yes, I have.
Because of this.
Yes.
During a pandemic. That's amazing.
Thank you. During a global pandemic.
Yes. It's just been extraordinary. And, we've gotten so many brilliant people on this show. That's what I think is so great.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Tyler Ferguson and Bill Irwin and Nathan Lane and, really, the list goes on and on. Judy Gold. And we started with the very great Mario Cantone, who was so funny and so generous and hilarious. I mean, we did lose Seattle because Mario was not a fan of Seattle.
No,
he wasn't a fan of Seattle. So we might not have any fans in Seattle. But
we love Seattle.
We do.
We will suck up to the whole globe.
Maybe season 3 premiere is in Seattle.
Maybe in Seattle. Yeah.
I'm drinking coffee right now.
Yeah, exactly. They do drink a lot of coffee in Seattle.
I just realized I've been drinking out of a not darling mug this entire show. I am so sorry. I mean,
I was gonna say, come on, darling. And by the way, darlings, I just want to also do a big shout out to Ardell because my Wispies are from Ardell. And
Explain what that is, Julie.
What, darling?
Explain what that is.
Well,
for our people
Wispies are my eyelashes.
Yes.
And I wear eyelashes, well, basically to bed. I wear them day, night, brunch, coffee, anytime. I don't take garbage out without my eyelashes. And Ardell makes this wonderful eyelash, and they're called Wispies. And we were so lucky that we got a year's supply of Wispies from Ardell. And I have to tell you, I put on a new pair this morning. And I have to say, thank you, Ardell. You kept me beautiful during this pandemic, and it's all because of the Wispies. So thank you again. Yeah.
So we all thank you for that.
Yes. No. And I still have quite a few left, so I'll be able to bring them to do the play. It's only a play, so I'll use them on the stage. So there you go.
Wonderful.
Now we have more clips.
Oh gosh, you were talking about great guests and people that are just good at that. 2 people who are really good at guesting also have their own talk show, or their own kind of variety show where they play music. They talk to brilliant musicians and entertainers. Jessica Molaskey and John Pizzarelli. Not only can they and do they talk to everyone on their wonderful radio show and podcast, they are, as we found out, the greatest guests. They're funny, they're open, they say anything, they're shocking, they're great. But
so
in the
talented.
in the middle of your interview with them, John happened to have his guitar sitting right there. And this is what happened.
I took a dusty road down to Mexico way. I got lost, and what more can I say? You think I hear you, my friend? I have had a very remarkable excursion myself, and I'm not speaking in hyperbole. I stopped by a shady spot to have a drink. South of the border, one to order can be more than you think. Remember, at all times to be aware of indiscretion. The worm can turn into the heart of a soul, or down the rabbit hole. And may I emphasize that no two people are quite alike. But when you drink a deadly spike, pray for tomorrow to come.
I mean, out of the blue.
Amazing.
Out of the blue. Wasn't that great? I
Yeah.
mean, just incredible. They have their show is called Radio Deluxe, and also on Thursday nights at 6:00 on the Facebook page, the John Pizzarelli official Facebook page. I've now become obsessed with it. And so, yeah, and they just out of the blue started singing. I mean,
we kind of talked about it beforehand. We were like, oh, I just hope they do. I hope his guitar is handy. But we didn't kind of plan that.
No.
Because it's like asking somebody to, I don't know. It just seemed inappropriate for some reason to us at that time. But boy, there it was. And we were so happy.
We were thrilled. And, you know, so many things happened sort of impromptu. And we were talking about this. We know a lot of the people that we have had on the show, you know, Jim, Ruby. I'm sure many of these people are a little new to you, but you've met them, of course, now. But we know a lot of these people for years and years. And yet we always learned something new about them. You know, like when the Calloway sisters were on, you know, to learn about the fact that they like left home when they were like 16 years old or 17, and their relationship, or Amanda Green talking about what it was like to have very famous parents. You know, Bill Irwin talking about learning how to work the camera. You know, I mean, it was like, why is Bill Irwin having to learn anything? He's a genius. You know, he has a MacArthur grant. No, he was telling us about how he had to learn how to work, you know, play to a camera, and that he was actually rather intimidated about doing, you know, TV and film and things like that. He didn't really feel like he should be doing. And of course, you know, he ended up a Tony Award winner and also has gotten lauded for many of his TV appearances. So we've always learned something new. And I was wondering, Ruby, was there anyone that really made such an indelible impression on you, or that you were completely surprised by, or?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it's funny because actually a lot of the people who we've had on Virtual Halston or Pajama Cast Party, I do know, just because of, you know, my life kind of growing up in New York City part-time in the circles that my mom is in. But I do have to say, I think what was just fun for me, and the episode that was kind of the hardest for me to remember, that I need to, like, you know, keep watching for cues and, you know, while I'm backstage, but also just watching and being a fan, I have to say was probably the Nathan Lane episode, because, and I don't think I actually ever told either of you this story. My mom first introduced me to the birdcage when I was 6 years old. And I remember my mom saying to me, you know, she raised me on the best movies. I will say I'm very cultured in my movies because I started watching all sorts at a very young age. And my mom said to me, I remember this so well, she said, I'm going to show you a movie. It has some language in it, because I think it has the F word in it like 2 times. And she goes, so you cannot repeat that word, but the movie itself you're going to love. And so I'm thinking, okay, you know, I had no idea. And I remember after that first time that she showed us the birdcage, I watched it every day when I came home from school. I was a very strange 6-year-old. And I remember telling my friends about this movie. They didn't give a shit. And so I was the weird kid trying to be like, you should watch this movie. And my friends would come over for a sleepover, and I'd ask my mom to ask their parents if they could watch the birdcage. I can quote that movie top to bottom. And so it was just such a thrill to get to be, you know, backstage watching that happen. And I learned so much every single week. So it's always such a thrill.
Oh, that is a great story. And of course the word was fuck. But we can say it on virtual
Right,
Halston.
we're not on network television, but it's so funny. I feel like people, especially those who I grew up around, they always think of me as like little. So I feel like when I use language, then it's like, oh my God, Ruby, something's wrong. She's having a crisis. Like,
well, I mean, each one of us has our own version of a talk show. Virtual Halston. Ruby has her show where she interviews people one-on-one. She did a great interview with Kristen Chenoweth. And of course, Pajama Cast Party, where I talk to, 4 or 5 performers every Monday. And I think the fun thing about it all is also the hard part of it is doing the research. Sometimes researching people we know really well, because you don't want to just have a very insidery conversation with one of your BFFs. You kind of need to dig a little bit. So it's always fun to me and interesting to find out new things about people we know and love.
But that's what's great about interviewing those who you know really well. So like, for instance, somebody like Kristen, who I've known since I was 13, is, we could read through her resume. We could read through it all day and we could do a 4-hour interview just on her resume. But I think when you know somebody and you're friends and you can just have a real conversation where it's past, the bio and it's just about the person, I think that's so much more interesting. I always want to know, not so much like, what were you thinking on your opening night of this? Like, when you go home and you have a week off, what's your seamless order? Like, do you order Uber Eats? Do you like to cook at home? Like, these are the things that I want to know. And that's why this show has been so much fun.
Yeah. Is Grubhub coming to the door right now? I mean,
somebody's at the door.
At the door. That's what we loved. Also, like when I was doing research on Lucy Arnaz. I mean, first of all, Lucy Arnaz, legend. The research is insane.
Right. There's a lot of material.
There's so much material, and I just loved that during the interview. At one point, she said, "Oh, I have to get up now, and I have to check on the roast." Right. And we were gobsmacked. First of all,
it was just us sitting there waiting for Lucy to check on the roast, which is exactly what this show should be. Like exactly. seeing her beautiful home in Palm Springs. And when she got up to leave, we could kind of look around and see the living room and like, oh, that's a nice lamp. So fun.
Exactly. And it was tastefully white and beautiful. But you also think, wait, you're in Palm Springs, you're cooking a roast. What's happening here? And also, I think it might have been 2:00 in the afternoon there. It was like, what's going on?
I mean, it's always time for a roast. So.
Well,
I'd love a roast right around now.
Actually, you know what? That does sound good, doesn't it?
I was going to say it actually sounds really good.
One of the most popular shows that we had with the Broadway crowd was the Brooks Ashmanskas show, because Brooks Ashmanskas, as we know, is one of the most hilarious and just funniest human beings alive. I'm just helpless in front of him. He's just crazy and he's done so much. But I do remember there was sort of a wonderful coda. I was telling the story about going to Iceland, and there is in Reykjavik a penis museum. And there really is a penis museum. And I remember, very funny, after I told Brooks the penis museum story, he said, now, where exactly is that address? And of course, people were laughing. But then what I loved, Jim, was you coming on a little later and you said, the penis museum, I'd like to go to the gift shop. I just thought that.
Oh, my witty barbs.
Oh, you witty guy, you. I just would like to take this opportunity to do just a few little special shout outs to some of our big friends who have been with us from the beginning. Libby Whittemore, Deb DiMartini, Belinda Wright, Laura Scott, Bob Fest, Eva Heineman, Charles Sperling, Eden Tuckman, Todd Foreman, Lisa Lambert.
Who was a great guest, by the way.
Yes, Betty Thomas, Pat McKee, but also everyone, Norm Sloan. you've just all been wonderful. But I just wanted to do a little special shout
Charles,
out.
did you say Charles Sperling?
Charles Sperling, yes. It's just been incredible, and thank you. Again, if you have any leanings this way, please feel free to help us continue this.
Oh, lean this way.
Yeah, lean this way.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. You go, girl. What was it, baby? Be me wine and
Take your time.
Take your time, Gladys.
Right. Now, another one of the most popular episodes we ever had was with our good friend, and she really is our good friend, and she's also a legend and an icon. Jim, do you want to sort of set us up here with this?
Absolutely. We love Linda Lavin more than it should be legal.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. She's an incredible friend. I mean, she's the person you call at 2 a.m. if you've left your keys somewhere. She's everything you want her to be. She's on this sitcom with Annalee Ashford called Be Positive. So she's working nonstop. She told my favorite story. I was there when this happened, but she tells it better than anybody. So I think we should just listen.
Roll tape.
Tell the end. Tell the end.
Oh, the end. Okay, this is a moment, and Jim was in the audience for this. I was doing a play called Collected Stories.
Yes.
In LA at the Geffen with Samantha Mathis as the young writer, and I played the elder writer. And at the end of the play, the elder writer with whom I was connected, I was playing her, is very, very ill. And we don't know what the illness is, but it's serious, and she's angrier than ever, and she's all alone, and the lights start to go down, and the phone is ringing, and she's just kicked somebody out of the house, and there's nobody more miserable in the world than this woman. And it's a beautiful play, beautifully written, caringly written about the loss that this woman has suffered. And in the silence of the dimming of the lights at the last moment of the play, I heard this from the audience. The end.
Oh my God.
That will never not be funny.
We say it all the time. I say it once a day.
That's how you end the Pajama Cast Party outro.
Oh, you're right. That's right. We say it's on after the crawl of the credits. Yep. It says the end. I need to get her to do it. Isn't it so good?
It's so good. And we've all performers that we are, we've all heard terrible things that audience members have said and whatnot. But I do know that play because I did get to see Linda's performance in that play, and she was so right. It was such a tender moment. It's a heart-wrenching moment. It's really a devastating ending.
Beautifully lit. The lights are going just right on her character. Beautiful. And right here is when that woman decided it was over.
And
let's leave now while we can get to the car.
Oh my God. It's like, Arthur, do you have the ticket? Do you have the ticket for the parking guy? Do you have the ticket? I mean,
ready to go.
People have no sense. They have no sense. They just don't. I'll never forget when I was doing Vampire Lesbians of Sodom, and wonderful McGann Robinson, the actress we were talking about with Harriet Harris, she was on the stage. I was standing by for her, and I was leaving the theater, and I heard a woman say to her husband, who said, I didn't understand this. I didn't understand Vampire Lesbians of Sodom. And she said, Arthur, it's a spoof. It's a spoof, Arthur. It's a parody. Do you know what a parody is? Oh my God. I was laughing all the way home. It's a spoof, Arthur. Do you know what a parody is? I thought, wow, I wouldn't want to be in that cab taking them home. Well, darlings.
The end.
The end.
The
I
end.
just want to say thank you to all my viewers. Keep you apprised. I will keep you apprised of when I'm back from hiatus. In the meantime, I'll let people know about the play that I'm doing. In the meantime, I would urge you all to watch Jim Caruso's Pajama Cast Party.
Oh, Monday's going to be good. Julie.
Okay, tell us about it.
Look. Broadway's longest running Elphaba in Wicked, Jackie Burns.
Yes.
Emily West and Chase McDaniel will not be singing together, but they both live in Nashville and they both sing their heads off. A young musical theater star named Demarion Alexander and a singer teacher whose voice I found him performing on Instagram. He killed me. Jacob Daniel Cummings. It's one of the most ravishing voices. So that's Monday at 8:00.
Monday at 8:00. And Ruby, you have a vlog. You have a blog, and you're on TikTok.
I'm everywhere that you would or would not want to find me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Clubhouse. You can just search my name. I try and just be where I can and provide positive content during these interesting times. So, there's always a place to find me and always projects that I'm working on. And later this month, since we don't have virtual Halston, I feel okay with plugging another show. But the virtual production of A Letter to Harvey Milk that I was technical producer for is streaming this month, April 22nd through the 25th. I just learned this a few days ago. So if you're looking for some virtual theater this month, there you go.
That is wonderful. And I just want to sign off. I'm going to get a little emotional. So I want to sign off before I get emotional because nobody wants to see me cry. And also, it's just hiatus.
I know.
We're forever.
We'll be back.
I know. But, I just want to thank all of you and especially you two who really have saved my life. And I love you both very, very dearly. So thank you, everyone. And as they say, Julie Halston, comedy.
What more is there to say?